You know,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that. But it's good that you are there. It's good that you're there to provide the choice, because really, I mean, the lingo has been co-opted by the abortion advocates. They talk about being pro-choice. They're really not. Their only choice is abortion. That's the only thing. Planned Parenthood, for example, less than 1% of the time refers people for adoption. They don't do all the things that they talk about doing. They do try to make money off of one thing, and that is abortion. Whereas when people come in with you, you acknowledge the fact that, yes, they could have
making a parenting plan for
yeah,
adoption.
exactly, making a parenting plan. Thank you. Doing something along that. And then, of course, in regards to the adoption process, and my understanding is now they can have much more say in where that child goes.
Yes, and we explain all that to them. Yes, I mean the young mom, she can pick the family. You know, she can pick the involvement in that child's life too. You know, with the adoptive parents. You know, if she wants to be a part of that child's life, or if she doesn't. You know, so yes, young women have a lot of control when it comes to that nowadays.
But most of them don't know that.
No, they don't. And they, you know, and a lot of times we hear, you know, I could never give my baby away, but I could have an abortion.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, and that point was very interesting to me, because in my abortion, it was, I didn't have a choice. I mean, the guy was going to have me have an abortion because he needed to cover up for statutory rape. But Norma, our sidewalk advocate, she's the one that finally, because I kept thinking, why do they say that? What is the purpose of that? And she made a good point to me one time when we were out there, and she said, it's because you already have no control of what happened to you. And you feel this is your last shred of control, is by deciding where my baby's going to go. And when she said that, I thought, that's what it is. You know, we, because of the fact that we have all these preconceived notions of what adoption is, which what it used to be. You had no choice where the baby was going to go. You had no choice. Is it going to go into an abusive situation? Is it going to go? And that is like your last grasp of control, that you're able to decide where your baby goes. And I think a lot of women would think, you know, I'd rather know that my baby's going to be in heaven with Jesus or God than not know where it's going to wind up.
Right, and it's so different nowadays. It is so different. The adoption process.
Absolutely.
We can't really, you know, explain that enough. It's like, but it is such a different thing nowadays.
Well, you said a couple of things. A, that the woman can choose the family. All right. Then B, that she can choose her involvement with that child down the road. I mean, these are things that maybe a lot of women don't know who are facing a crisis situation and are pregnant.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, how much difference does that make when, I mean, do you see kind of a light come on with people when they hear those details?
You know, yes. You know, with some of the girls, yes, but not all of them, but yes. You know, and I think, and I think the adoption agencies, too, do a really good job, you know, of walking them through all that as well.
Absolutely.
So, yes, but we have seen them, like, come on, and, like, praise God when that happens. You know?
It is, isn't it, though? It's so cool.
Yes.
Again, we have Cyndi Vandi on with us this morning with CareNet of Valencia County in Los Lunas. And this is something that we're going to be doing, God willing, every Wednesday. And we mainly wanted to have you guys on, first of all, because there's a lot of testosterone coming into this studio with all our pastors.
Oh, come on. There's never enough testosterone.
We needed to get some females in here. So we wanted you and Glenda. And, you know, whenever you have somebody else that wants to come along, please do. If, you know, if there's something, even if you have a client someday that would like to come in with you and share about what CareNet's done, we'd love to have that. I mean, just to let people know out there that, you know what, this is what CareNet does. This is who you are. This is what you're offering in this community, as well as in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and the East Mountains.
It's a marvelous organization. And, of course, it survives on the gifts of God's people. So, you know, you talk about year-end stuff. We talk about the need here at the Hub of New Mexico for the end of the year, which is, I mean, it's always great for every ministry. It says it's an important time, so I'm sure it's a very important time for CareNet as well. Dollars and cents-wise, how do people give to CareNet?
You know, they can do a one-time donation. They can become Friends for Life, where they do a monthly donation. They can get involved in the things we do to raise funds, which is our banquet in April, and also the Walk for Life in August. The Laugh for Life. So for
Is that going to be a yearly thing then?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, awesome!
Yes.
Very cool.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we'll enjoy the opportunity to
And
talk
diapers,
a little bit more. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yes, we always,
If people want to give diapers.
And gently use baby clothes up to size 3. I mean, we're always accepting, donations at the centers.
Well, they're baby clothes that babies rough up. I mean,
No,
that's why you have to make the delineation here between the stuff that babies just tore up. That child, those were my clothes. As a baby.
No, I think maybe just the stains, because our clients have to earn those dollars, and so we just want to make sure they're, don't have stains on
Hey, look,
stuff like that.
I've seen the clothing closets, and the clothing in there is always top notch. It's always very, very nice.
Yeah,
and you have volunteers who help with that. So people who
Yes.
say, well, I could never talk to somebody about this, I couldn't do that, they could come and they could help in the clothing closet.
Yes, we have a wonderful lady now. Her name is Liz, and she puts together our...
She does a good job.
Yeah, the clothing closet, and she does the baskets that we give them right before they deliver with all kinds of goodies in there, and she does a beautiful job. It looks like something, from Neiman Marcus or somewhere.
It is. They're
Present it to the
beautiful.
clients.
Yes, they are
pretty
beautiful.
neat.
Yeah.
So if your church, if those of you who are listening, if your church wants to get involved, I know that up in Albuquerque, I went in one time when a church had brought a whole bunch of toiletry items. They had brought, if you're looking for a service project, if a church is a youth group, if a youth group is looking for a service,
Sunday school classes.
get in touch with CareNet. Ask them, what is it that you guys need right now? What is it that, and this would be I think it'd be a phenomenal way for a youth group, for a ladies' Bible ministry, for any of these sites. I know they've done baby showers before where all the ladies get together and they bring in diapers. So you can be so creative with how you want to donate to
And
CareNet.
everything's a blessing. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Like, everything is put to good use.
Yes.
And so we appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
The old motto, waste not, want not, is alive and well.
Yes,
at,
it is.
at CareNet. So there's always a way that you can help out. So I would recommend you give them a call. Look up, there is a main number. Do you remember the main number? I was giving it out last night at the basketball game. Don't worry.
I know our number here.
I got all my notes.
8373?
Yes, I think so.
8373.
Dan will get it. Okay,
Yes.
but the CareNet here in Valencia County, how do they get a hold of them?
565-3838.
565-3838. 565-3838 is the one for in Valencia County, if you're in Valencia County, and the main
And the
number.
main number would be 814-9232.
814
Yeah.
9232. That's okay.
Excuse me, but I got it off the website.
That's
okay. 814-9232.
He only has that because he was doing a basketball game last night, and he had to. He was doing ads.
Well, when we're doing the broader area, we have to make sure people know where they can call. All right, they can just call that one number and get connected to any of the resources, because there are 4 different locations plus the mobile medical unit.
2 medical.
Oh, that's right, 2 medical.
Yes. Yeah, we have the big RV, right?
And they're still using it.
They are.
Right. Now, is that one going to be shut down for the winter time?
They usually do shut it down. But
If it ever
they've been-
comes. If winter ever comes.
But they've been so busy. I mean, they're going out to UNM and CNM now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Oh my gosh.
You made those trips too, haven't you? You've been on.
no, I haven't actually been to the campuses or
Okay.
around the campuses. But yeah, I do the Thursdays where we actually go and do ultrasounds at different
All right.
centers.
For some reason, I thought you had done some of the CNM and UNM visits, and I'm kind of curious. What have you heard about those, and how effective is that?
My
Very
daughter
busy.
Jenna says hi, by the way.
Oh, no, hello. They're very busy. I mean, they are very busy from what I've heard. I mean, they are, and what's really great about it too is they get to counsel the youth. I mean, and our young adults, because I don't think people realize, but we're 5th in the nation for STIs, and that's what they do a lot of at the college campus
campuses,
areas.
yes.
And so it's a really great time to not only do the testing, but also a lot of education. To help empower them to make better decisions.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, and that's important
It
because
is.
and it's not by coincidence, and this is something that, you know, as I was dealing with pro-life, it's not a coincidence that these abortion clinics they surround the
Strategically
area
located.
of the University of New Mexico and CNM. It's not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
They do that because I forget what my statistic was, but the highest amount of women going to get abortions are in that college age.
Yes.
And they know that. And you always have to think that, I think so many people tend to think of abortion clinics as medical facilities. You have to remember that these places are businesses.
Right.
They sell abortion.
Yes.
Right.
Just like the car dealers are all on Lomas and they all sell cars.
Yes.
They're not there to give you cookies and be your friend. They're there to sell your car. And that is what these abortion facilities are.
And the counselors are salespersons.
They're salespeople.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
And we heard that, I mean, from, you know, former people that have had abortion clinics. I mean, we've heard that straight out of the mouth of really one woman who spoke at our banquet one year, and really her goal was to raise money. That was her purpose.
They have quotas that they have to meet. They have to do a certain amount of abortions in order to stay in business.
And they don't do any follow-up care. You know, if
Oh,
women are
no.
having trouble afterwards, it's like
Don't
they're
call
not
us.
there. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
don't call us. And how
Exactly.
often we've heard that.
Right. But you know what? Call CareNet because we can help.
Absolutely.
Even okay, that's a good point, because even after someone makes that decision to have an abortion, they may feel like, I can never darken the doors of CareNet again because I didn't do what they
Wanted
I
me
didn't
to
follow
do
up on
or
one of the
whatever,
options that they gave me. But the reality is they can, because you have a way to help them.
Yes, we do, and we're non-judgmental.
Yes.
We don't judge. You know, that was their choice. They felt that was the best thing at the time, and but we are there because we know the destruction that lies in their wake. And you know, and I know for myself, I got healing at CareNet. You know, doing the Morning to Joy weekend workshop, and I would just encourage any woman who's had an abortion, who even thought at the beginning like everything was okay, but now years have gone by, and you know, just struggling with it. It's like there is healing available, and really it's through God, but there's healing available, and we point them in that direction.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Cyndi, Vandi, our guest here on the Hub of New Mexico. Second of our opportunities to have one of our fantastic CareNet ladies, and we mean that about you. One of our fantastic CareNet ladies come in and talk to us about what's going on in the mission of CareNet, and of course also right here specifically Valencia County, because that's home to us. But we're always happy to have you come by.
Well, thank you.
And you look lovely today.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
you
you.
do.
You guys do too. You guys always
No,
do.
see, no, there's a reason why my back is to the camera.
Oh, stop! He's always on. I've always put it on him because I'm the one that's always been taking the video. So this is.
We have a
it's
much
kinda
better view now. You can see that having Laura right there is a much better view than having me.
That's not
That's
true.
not true.
Yes, it is. Come on, ladies. The truth hurts, and I've been hurt enough. All right. But yeah, what are you going to do for Christmas? You going to be home?
No, I'm going to go visit the grandbabies.
Ah.
Really excited. Looking forward to that.
That'll be awesome.
That's very cool.
Grandbabies?
Yes, 3.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Where at?
15 in Washington State.
Okay.
Aw,
Yes.
that's
So,
very cool.
That'll be
pretty
nice.
excited. And
Yeah.
then my baby, my son.
That's very
So,
cool.
yes, very excited.
All right, great. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time when you get the chance to go. And when you get to Washington, it might seem like winter.
I know. Well, it always seems like winter there. It's cold.
Always
always
winter.
raining,
Only
yeah.
once a year is at
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, unlike the summertime weather that we transported to fall type weather that we've kept going here in New Mexico. It'll be winter before we know it, though. Colder this morning.
Yes, and yesterday it was kind of cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina's saying good morning, everyone.
Oh, we'll tell her good morning.
Yes, good morning,
Yes.
Christina.
Yeah, she's amazing. She does a good job.
She does. as
And
well.
Manny, of course, he's
Yay.
popped in, and we've had lots of people
Oh,
pop in and saying hi.
nice.
So.
Nice. Well, good morning to everybody.
So when you go to the Facebook Live this morning, and a lot of our friends have so far, you get to see kind of a different look in the studio because it's a brand new camera. And
Yes.
Cyndi, thankfully, it was you who got to break it in,
Yes.
and not Roger.
The Roger, by the way, is what we call him.
The Roger?
Yes, we found out. We're part of
web kind of a hotel kind of a thing where they give you deals. And I opened up my computer one time and it came up with the Roger in New York was having a sale for rooms for only $350 a night.
Good stuff. Oh my goodness.
So Roger said he was going to start charging people $350 when they came into the church.
And why not?
Yeah, and why not? Yeah.
The laborer is worthy of his hire.
Yes, it is.
All right. Cyndi, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you come in.
And Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you
Christmas
too.
to you.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if we'll have the chance to get you back in before the year's in. If not, we'll see you next year. But we'll definitely look forward to having you come back.
Well, thank
and
you. I look forward to coming. Thank you
Absolutely.
guys. Love you
Thank
guys.
you. Love
You've been
you
joining
too.
us here on the Hub of New Mexico this morning, and pleasure to have you join us as well here on the Hub. The next live cast of Facebook will come up at right around 10:30 when Pastor Roger.
I don't
the
like
Roger.
this. It just shows your back. I don't like
That's
it.
okay. No, that's my good sign.
No, I'm gonna fix it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this and put it somewhere where you can.
No,
Yeah,
no,
maybe
that's
put
it.
it like.
I'm kind of liking it. Like I got more hair in the back of my head than I thought I did. My dad used to have this little round spot of bald. You know, it's called a monk's cap. Yeah, but I don't have that. A lot of my cousins do, and they don't like me because I don't have it. I'm the outcast of my family.
I think you're very handsome.
Well, thank you very much. And everybody's going, yeah, well, that's her opinion, buddy.
It's true, isn't it? I agree.
For which I'm very thankful that you
Yes.
hold that opinion.
Yes.
Anyway,
Wednesday at 9 o'clock. God willing, we'll have either Glenda or Cyndi and bring
Who
along
knows who
anybody
they
else
might
that you
bring.
want to bring
Thank
along. We'd
you.
love to have whoever. So yeah.
Okay, thanks
Okay.
you guys.
All right.
forward to
Have a
that
great day.
opportunity
You too.
Okay,
here on the
bye.
Hub of New Mexico. Delighted to have you join us this morning, 9:34.